Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsea. For today's video, I'd like to share with you how I created this beautiful card, and I used the Forever Blossom stamp set along with its coordinating dies, Cherry Blossoms. So I've got for you today two techniques. The first one being how to create an open border edge to your card. So this is the Cherry Blossom die, and we're just doing a partial die cut to create this open border. And then the second technique I'd like to share with you today is how I colored the flowers. And I used the Watercolor Pencils along with the Color Lifter Stamping Blends marker to blend that color together. So I'm going to show you those techniques today. So this card doesn't use a lot of cardstock. We just have a card base, and I'm using a thick Whisper White Cardstock, and it is 8.5 by 5.5 and then scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to be just stamping directly on the card base. Then I've got a piece of Whisper White Cardstock for my greeting. So I've got a piece of vellum from the So Very Vellum Specialty Designer Series paper, and this is a free product that you can receive. It comes in 3 different colors, and this is the Pool Party, and you can get it for free during celebration, and celebration ends at the end of March, and all you need to do is purchase $50 of Stampin' Up! Products, and then you can select this product as your free item. So it's really beautiful. It has this fun texture to it. So we're going to be using that today as well. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is stamp on our card base. So you're going to get the Cherry Blossom stamp image and place it on a large block. And then we're using the Memento black ink to stamp. You're just going to ink up your image. So you're going to place your image on your front side of your card, and you want the bottom of the stem to kind of come off the bottom of the card. But the rest of it, you want it to stay inside the card. So don't let this image come off. And then go ahead and stamp it and lift up. Okay, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and do a partial die cut using the Cherry Blossom dies. And I've got some washi tape so that it doesn't move on me. And we're just going to line up the die. And then use that washi tape to make sure it adheres to the card. Okay, so before we cut our die with the Big Shot, we need to mark where we want that line to go. So I am going to cut 1 inch from the right side into my card. So I've lined it up with my grid paper, and each one of these squares is 1/4 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to make a marking here at 1 inch, and then do the same down here at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this mark actually is going to go right on my washi tape right there. So you're going to grab your magnetic platform or your die cutting platform, and then your cutting pad. So this is my cutting pad, and that's going down. And then I've got my paper with the die cut, and then this is my top plate. Now my top plate has a beveled edge, and so when it goes in, when this edge goes into the plate, into the die cut machine, it actually doesn't cut right along this bevel. So there's a line here showing me kind of where that bevel stops, and I'm going to line up that line I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it right here. So I'm going to line up that bottom line with my 1-inch mark. Oh, do you see I'm doing it wrong? So if I did it on this side, I would cut the inside of my card, which is not what I want. So I need to sit on the outside edge of my card. Okay, so I've lined up this line, my inside line where it will cut, to the 1-inch markings on both sides, and it's on the outside of my card. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this through my Big Shot. Okay, so now that I've cut that, I can go ahead and carefully remove, and you'll see that we've cut that around that 1-inch line. So I'm going to go ahead and come here and remark there where my 1 inch is, because I didn't get that marking on the bottom because it was over the washi tape. Okay, so I've lined that all back up. I got another 1-inch mark here. I've got a self-healing mat and a ruler, and I'm just going to line up that 1-inch mark again and grab an X-Acto knife. And what I'm doing is I'm only going to cut to those marks, to where the die cut. So I'm not cutting past that die cut. So right there. And then line it up again and find the next place. So I'm just going to go right here. Okay. So I've got my open border edged card. Okay, so for our original card, I've done a little extra stamping, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Open my card. Actually, I'm going to keep it closed so that I don't stamp on the back of my card. Ink up your image. Okay, I'm rotating the stamp. I'm going to place this one here in the corner. I'm not going over that cut line. Okay, so I didn't stamp past my cut line. And then I have another one just coming down at an angle as well. Okay. So I have 3 of the flower images, and now we are going to color them in. So I'm just going to do one set of flowers on video, and then I will pause the video, finish them up, and we'll come back and finish the card. So I've got 3 different colors of watercolor pencils. I've got the Melon Mambo, Rich Razzleberry, and Old Olive. The Old Olive, we're going to just color the leaves and the stems. So put a lot of focus in those shadow areas. You're going to put a lot of color there. And then if you want, you can kind of do a soft color for the rest of the leaf. So I've gone ahead and colored in all those leaves with the Old Olive watercolor pencil. Next, we're going to do a combination. I'm going to use the Rich Razzleberry in the center of the flowers and then the Melon Mambo along the outside to give it that bright pink look. So I'm just going to start with the Rich Razzleberry and just add some colors to all those dark shadows. So that part's done. And now we're going to add the Melon Mambo. So do a little darker along the edge of each petal, and then just a very light coloring inside. So we've finished coloring all those flowers in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the color lifting pen of the Stampin' Blends markers, and we're going to smooth out those lines and give it a soft look. For this, I like to use the smaller tip of the pen. I think I just have a little bit more control, especially with these smaller images. All right, so here's a close-up, and you can tell that it kind of blends the colors together and removes some of that, the lines when you color with watercolor pencils, so that it kind of just smooths it out and makes for a really beautiful colored image. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the leaves. So we finished the leaves on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to finish the other two images in the similar way, and then I'll come back and we can finish this card. So I've gone ahead and colored in all the images, and now we're ready to move to the next step. So the next thing we're going to do is stamp our greeting, and we're doing that with Memento ink as well. And we're going to use the Wishing You a Long Life Together filled with love and promise stamp. And you could use any greeting that you would like to use for this card. I just thought that it would be a great wedding card. So go ahead and stamp that in the middle of a piece of paper. And we're using one of the label dies from the Painted Label. And it's just this one that has the straight edge and then a little rounded on the side. And we're just going to line that up and send it through the Big Shot. One of the things I love about this label die is that it embosses the outside edge. And I think it just looks so pretty. Okay, so the next thing, we've got some of the crinkled ribbon in Whisper White, and we're going to dye this ribbon with the Pool Party Stampin' Blends, and I've got the light color here. Now, if you want to see some more ways to use your Stampin' Blends, I will link a video up here in the corner that you could watch that talks about more techniques that you can use with your Stampin' Up! Blend markers. So all you need to do is just run your marker over your ribbon, and this will dye it. And you could use the light or the dark, whichever you have on hand. And I have 11 inches of the crinkled ribbon. And then we're also going to color some of the rhinestones. And I'm just going to do a big one, a medium, and a small. Now, you can probably not tell that there's much color on these at all, but just so that they're a little bit tinted blue. So it's this one, and that one, and they just have a very slight blue tint to them. So let's go ahead and add the vellum into our card. And I'm just going to run some snail along the top and bottom edge. I don't want to add too much adhesive. Sometimes you can see adhesive through vellum. Okay, and so then that really accentuates that open border that we created. Next, we're going to add the ribbon to the back of our greeting. And I just do this by adding some snail and then running this ribbon back and forth. So you're just going to loop it on both sides. And then just take a good pair of scissors, and I've just got some fabric scissors, and just trim those edges. And then we're adding this to our card with some dimensionals. And just not quite center, but just down a little bit lower. And you want it so that this label is going horizontal with the bottom edge of your card. And if the ribbon comes off slightly, that's okay. And then we're going to go ahead and add those rhinestones that we colored. And I like to use my pickup tool. And I'm just going to slide those off, place one near the bottom of my greeting, maybe one at the top near those flowers, and then another one on that side there. Okay, so this was a fun card, and we've learned some new techniques. And I really love this open border here and how that just really makes this card special. I hope you enjoyed learning this fun technique with me today and that you give it a try. Please subscribe, like, and share. Visit creativechelsea.com for a free tutorial of this project and to purchase the supplies needed. Have a creative day. Bye.